Hey y'all, super quickly wanted to pop on in to tell you about an opportunity we're bringing to the Meet Edgar community. And this is a webinar next week hosted by influencer Alyssa Coleman. She actually uses Meet Edgar, so she's going to go into a lot of the productivity strategies that she uses in order to post over 55 items on social media every single week without ever opening her computer. That sounds like a dream, right? So if you're interested in learning from a top influencer all about how she upcycles her content, so the idea of taking like one piece of video content that she's made and actually turn it into over 100 pieces of content to use on social media. That's what we call upcycling. She's going to share on Dish all of her secrets, and the link to sign up is in the description of this video. So go ahead and click there. Even if you can't make it live, we are going live July 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you can't make it live, still go ahead and jump on the registration list because we'll obviously send you the replay after. We know how it goes. Life does get busy, but we're really excited to bring her into our family here at Meet Edgar in order to make sure that you guys are getting the best tips on how to utilize our software to save you the most time. So if you've never tried upcycling before, I suggest thinking before you come to this webinar about a piece of content that you spent a ton of time researching, whether it was a blog post or whether it was a video or podcast, and how you can actually make multiple types of social media posts out of this one piece of content, as well as making sure you're sending it multiple times. So you all know here at Meet Edgar as a social media automation tool, we love making sure you're writing quality content, and that quality content could get out to your social media followers multiple times. That's what we refer to as an evergreen content strategy, right? So beyond that, we're going to go into how this evergreen content strategy can make sure you're being seen as an expert in your field. So, you know, being seen as an expert means going really deep in a subject area. So taking this one piece of content and say making, Alyssa's going to share how she takes a video and makes it into 100 pieces of content, which I personally am so excited to learn about. So that's why you definitely want to hop on the webinar registration. Anyway, but how you could, before you get to the webinar, how you could actually take one well-researched piece of content and make 5 status updates out of it so that you can just get into the practice a little bit about what upcycling is all about. So look at your most recent podcast or webinar or video and ask yourself, hey, how could I make this into a text-only status update that I put onto like a beautiful background in Canva to send out, or that I just tweet out from? Or how could I take this and video myself explaining some of the main points of this blog post that I wrote so that people who don't actually love to read blog posts could watch this video on social media? Or how could I actually take this and rewrite a headline for this article so that when I share this article again, perhaps the language that I'm using will resonate with one of my followers differently and actually compel them to click on this link on social media and be directed to my social, to my site, driving traffic from social to your site. So these are all different ways of upcycling. She's going to go into a ton more and get really creative with them. So I can't wait for you guys to go ahead and dig in. Alyssa Coleman, like I said, will be the host of this webinar. We go live July 2nd, so grab your spot. It's in the link there. And if you have any other questions about upcycling in the meantime, you know where to leave them in the comments of this video, or of course, email support@meetedgar.com. And I'm going to leave you with one last thought here. And that's a question that I know if you follow Tim Ferriss, who's kind of like a productivity master, strategist, and an amazing podcast host, he always asks the question, what would this look like if it were easy? So this strategy of upcycling your content answers that question, I think, 100%. If social media were easy, it would be you going really deep into a subject area, researching something that you're passionate about, and sharing that research with your followers in a way that it's not feeling overwhelming, right? It's kind of like that content creation treadmill that we always talk about being on, that you feel like you have to keep up with the Joneses and you have to continuously be pumping out new content, which is true, but it doesn't have to be hard. That's what the process of upcycling is all about, taking that one piece of content and breaking it up so you can get 5 to 10 social media status updates from it. She's going to dive in way deeper, so grab your spot in the link below. Super excited to see you all there. And let us know in the meantime, email support@meetedgar.com if you do have further questions. I'll see y'all tomorrow.